Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. It's episode 18 and it's time to go straight in and build some on-site accommodation here at Ocean Bay Studios. Yes, I'm building a Mediterranean themed hotel. I did mention it in the last episode that I was going to be focusing this one on infrastructure and that is the hotel itself and of course some other parts what all form parts of the theme park infrastructure itself. That includes a car park and a monorail to transport guests from that car park down to the entrance of the theme park. So yeah, lots to go on in this episode. Starting off straight away with the hotel. It's going to be based all around a Mediterranean theme. As you can see, this whole area just here, what I'm now building on, was planned initially right back when I started this park. I did think, right, let's leave a big gap here for a hotel development and also for the car parks, monorail, whatever I might want to do there as well. So yeah, that's what we're going straight in with. Now in Planet Coaster, when I last built a hotel, which is in my previous park, Volcano Springs, I just had to pretend that it could actually function as a hotel because back then Planet Coaster didn't allow you to actually put in the facilities, whereas now, as you can see by the little boxes what are on the inside, they are actual hotel rooms. You can see me just adding more of them in just there. Obviously, you could add absolutely loads if you wanted to. Like I think I've put about 30 odd in. But yeah, you could do another level of rooms so you've got more. You can build as many hotels as you want. And as you can see there with the little drop-down tab, I'm just connecting them all together to that entrance building just there. So guests will actually walk up into that entrance doorway, which then of course means they can check into all them hotel rooms. You can also have options. Obviously you can pay more for Wi-Fi and all that kind of stuff, you know, all the little add-ons. So it's crazy, isn't it, how much effort Frontier have put into the hotel design. And if you want to see me build my first ever Planet Coaster hotel, I mean, I'm not that experienced building these. This is only my second one. I've not even done any like outside of the parks that I show you guys, because sometimes I'll mess about in some other parks just with a blank canvas and build little bits. But in terms of hotels, I've only ever done that one before. So check out that last series that I did if you want to see the hotel. And then yeah, I've got this one going in now, which hoping to make some more improvements. It's not going to be quite as big and grand as the hotel that I built for that park, because obviously that theme park was much bigger than this. There was a lot more rides and stuff, so I felt like the hotel itself needed to be bigger. It also formed part of the entrance building where you actually walked underneath the hotel to go down through to the entrance turnstiles. But as you can see just here, starting off with quite a nice simple layout. It's two wings, one wing there connected to the other via a corridor, which will have some more rooms in. And now it's just about putting the roof on. With the Planet Coaster, really, you know, you can put little bits in and think, oh, that doesn't look quite right. And you'll see that a lot in this episode where I put something in and think, oh, you know, actually that doesn't look quite right. So I just delete it and then put something else back in its place. And yeah, like I want it to be a 3-story hotel. So you've got the ground floor, the first floor, which are there, as you can see what are in now. And then it'll sort of shrink in a little bit, the building in the middle. You'll see that in a couple of minutes time, and actually put that third level in just there of hotel rooms. In the middle there's going to be a rooftop bar with some archways and stuff, with a bit of a balcony what looks over the theme park itself. I mean, this hotel is in a beautiful location for views of the park. Like I say, it was planned from the start that I was going to put a hotel in on this area, hence why I left a massive gap just there on the left hand side, because I thought it'd be great looking out over the whole Mediterranean entrance area of the park, and also that huge B&M coaster that we've got there as well, and that's all nicely landscaped around the back there. I do advance plan these things, you know, that I wanted to put something there. Yeah, I didn't obviously know the design or even the theme. I mean, I thought maybe I might go for Mediterranean because it does all fit in with the entrance area, and I wouldn't want to build something too intrusive what doesn't fit with the rest of it. But yeah, like, you know, I do like to advance plan and think, oh yeah, this is going to go there, X, Y, and Z. And yeah, that's where we are here. I hope you enjoyed in the last episode the booster bike coaster what I put in. It's been great seeing all your comments on that one. As of now, these next couple of episodes are pre-recorded, so as much as you put in your suggestions down for names and things, I'll be revealing all the names for the Sci-Fi area, this hotel, which also needs a name, and of course what I'm going to build for my final ride in the next episode, in number 19. I'll reveal all the names in episode 20, which will be the final episode of this park, but not the final episode of the series, because it's not really a series anymore, is it? Because it's going to continue straight in to the next part that I'm going to be building. But yeah, at the moment I'm currently over in Disneyland Paris and Europa Park, doing a trip out there, which is awesome. Yeah, really enjoying it. And yeah, in terms of everything else what's going to be coming up, there'll be vlogs and lots of other videos from this trip as well. Then going to be coming back from that trip and off to on another trip, this time with a friend of ours called Brett, and also with Alex as well, the milkman. We're going on a little road trip where we're going to winter F-telling for the first time, and also to Fantasyland, where I've been quite a few times, but Alex and our friend Brett have never been to either of those parks before, so I think them vlogs will be really interesting to see what they think to, well, some of them fantastic rides at the parks. First things that spring to mind, rides like Taron at Fantasyland, Symbolica at F-telling. There's some interesting stuff at F-telling, which if they don't understand the park that much, which one of our friends is American, you know, so he's not really going to understand a lot of the stuff at F-telling. I think it could be quite an interesting trip and make some really good vlogs, so make sure you stay tuned for that. That's coming up in a couple of weeks time as we move into the middle of December. You might have already seen we've done our vlogs from Hyde Park Winter Wonderland from the preview. That was really good fun. There's some other videos from Hyde Park as well. There's general shots of it at night and in the daytime, so make sure you check those out that are now online here on the channel. And of course TPW Weekly with 2 on location episodes, one from Disneyland Paris and another from Europa Park, so make sure you tune into them. Now, over the past few minutes, this hotel here is really starting to come together already. The thing is with this, you don't want to get too bogged down with doing all the details in one place first. In my opinion, you're much better off building the infrastructure for your hotel and then putting in all the little details. So as you can see here, very, very similar style buildings, just on a much bigger scale to what we did in the rest of the Mediterranean themed area. And I just think, you know, it fits in really nice. You look at it from the other side on the lake in the park and it's in the backdrop, and really you don't even tell that much it's a hotel from that side, which is really good. It just fits in really nice just there. And as I mentioned back at the start, I am going to build a monorail, so the car park is actually going to go to the left hand side of where the hotel is, on the big plot of land just there, still behind the coaster, and you just see it in the background there. And then I'm going to build the monorail, come out the front of the hotel, and then do a station just to the right of the main entrance. I'm going to completely repackage the main entrance. There's a security bag check area there. That's going to be taken out, and I'm going to put a much bigger one in now the park's grown a lot more since it was last opened to guests. And yeah, just to, you know, improve the entrance look of it overall, because you've got the grand archways, which I really like, but I want to just add a bit more around there, and obviously the monorail station, more landscaping, some hashtag rock work in there, and all that sort of stuff. Inspired very much by Europa Park's Hotel Colosseo, this section just here, because obviously they've got like a rooftop bar around the top floor what looks out one side. You can see beautiful views into Europa Park, and on the other side you get to see all the theming around the Colosseo Hotel. With this you get the views out to the park, and then the other side you'll be able to look out on that lake at the back, all the seating area there's going to be there, the bar, and also looking out over the monorail as well. So, you know, it's all about making sure the views, you're thinking about the views what guests would get from these rooms. Obviously, really, we know it's just a box inside, and what the guest goes into, they can't like walk out onto the balconies and open the doors and stuff. Not yet. It wouldn't surprise me in this game if they do more. I mean, a couple of weeks back, Planet Coaster did an update where basically you can make your own theme in and scenery items to put into the game, and so that's really going to be something we can use in the future as well. couple of chimneys going in now just on there. Obviously, you want to be realistic. You've got to think wood rooms have chimneys. No, so you got to think, oh yeah, the chimneys are just going to sort of come up from some of the public areas like the restaurants where you maybe have an open fire and the bars and stuff like that. That's what I really like about Disney hotels. Like Sequoia Lodge at Disneyland Paris is another one of my favourites because that's got a big open bar, and especially this time open fire. Sorry, it's open bar. I wish it was an open bar at Disney. It's got a big open fire next to the bar. That's what I was trying to say. And you get really nice sort of that feel, don't you, when you've got a nice log fire going. All them smells and everything, especially at this time of year where it's cold outside, and wouldn't surprise me if I see some snow maybe on this trip. I hope so. Back in 2012, and the first ever vlog on Theme Park Worldwide, and that was a snowy trip. That was. I went with my mum actually. We had a great time, but yeah, we woke up and it was snowing outside, and I remember walking to the park and was wrapped up. It was freezing cold. But yeah, like the weather is starting to get much cooler now, especially here in the UK as we lead up to the start of December and the main sort of countdown to Christmas, so to speak. As you can see here, just more landscaping around the back of the hotel. There's some balconies. Not all the rooms come with a balcony, but it's just the more premium rate rooms, as I would say, that have got the balconies going in just there. Putting in some palm trees and stuff there around the back of the hotel. I say the back, technically that's the front, but if you're looking at it from the park, that's also the back or the front. So it's up to you really which one you want to decide, because it looks nice from both sides, and you've got things to look at on both sides as well. Technically, the front, I would say, is actually the side, what leads on there to the archway, just where I am now. And just putting in loads of different types of palm trees and stuff. And as you'll see shortly, I'll be finishing the hotel and start to work on the rest of the area, which is going to be, like I say, an improved entrance plaza. Going to redo the path, going to take out all that security search area and start to build a much bigger one, what's also indoors as well. Like obviously if it was real, your security search staff they're under a little cover, but I want to make sure it's all indoors and keep your staff happy. That's something what I've learned a lot. I spent 7 years working at Alton Towers in a theme park, and you've got to do things to keep your staff happy, because if they're not happy, then they're not going to carry on working for you, are they? So it's one of them things. So yeah, I really want to make sure I think of them little details. And actually, would you want your security staff standing outside there in the cold all throughout the year? No, let's put them in a little hut where they can be in the warm. As you can see there, all the lighting looks really nice. That really fits in very well with the park, and that's exactly what I wanted with this one. Just putting in more trees and landscaping. I know a lot of these episodes, especially recently, have been about the landscaping, but it's just so it all fits together nicely. It's got a very tropical feel, completely different to the park what I'm going to be working on next, a vintage park where there'll be no palm trees, nothing like that. I'm thinking of like basing it in like a country park that for many years has had these historical roller coasters, wooden roller coasters like a Wild Mouse, a classic wooden coaster, all that sort of stuff, like a scenic railway, and really going down that classic route. Lots of classic fairground rides. Like, I don't like using stuff with all the lights on in these parks that I've done on Let's Play, because obviously they just don't fit, do they? Whereas with this park I'm going to do all the fairground style lighting and everything. I think it'll make for a really good episode and something a bit different. Series of episodes, should we say. Now it's onto the monorail just here, and you'll notice I do a few changes. Initially I put the station in where it is now. In a moment you'll notice that I push it back because I didn't think it was quite right there. Originally I was going to put the monorail station right in the middle of where I planned to have the car park, but then I thought actually it doesn't quite work, as you can see here, and put the station at the back. However, this station is only for a guideline because it's not actually going to be a functioning station in the game, because there's no point in having a station there because it's near none of the attractions. It is just for show. The only station what will actually be in use is the other one down near the entrance, where guests will be able to get on that and just do a full loop round. But obviously we're pretending really that guests are coming on at the car park just there until Planet Coaster make it that you can actually have it that guests arrive in the car and park up and have to get on the monorail to the park. It'll be staying like that, but so we're just going to pretend that there is another station there, and obviously that it's stopping to pick people up. Obviously here it's just making sure that I build it within the boundary right, so I can have a bit of landscaping underneath it, because I don't just want it to look bland and boring. That's the station what I'll be staying. That's going to be a functioning station, as I said, just what I'll link up to the entrance plaza. Just got to be very clever how I do it, because obviously I want to make sure the ride is still in the park itself, in the game, but in reality it wouldn't be, would it? Because it would be like Alton Towers Monorail, for example, or Walt Disney World Monorail, where you don't need a ticket to the park to actually go on that. It'll just transport you about around the resort. But inspired a little bit here by the Walt Disney World Monorail, by just having the two tracks next to each other. Also Alton Towers Monorail does that, and then it'll veer off to do turnaround sections, a bit like on the plaza at Alton Towers, where it will turn around and then go back into the station there. This whole area here, what I'm now flattening out using that land smoothing tool, is going to be the car park itself. And as soon as the park is back open to guests again in episode 20, we are focused on the opening of the park and also Christmas decorations as well to end this one. I am going to decorate the park for the festive season, especially with it being this time of year. So yeah, it's, you know, putting in the car park on this section now. I don't show you too much of this because it's using the footpaths there and just putting them down, and you'll see in just a moment we skip a little bit and you see that the car park is all in place. And I start to put in some of the street lamps just there, a little test in the dark to make sure they look all right. These are the same ones that I used up in the Back to the Future themed area. Yeah, it's good to see you all enjoyed the Sci-Fi area. I was really pleased with how it all came together actually up there, especially with Back to the Future fitting in just at the side with the Hill Valley area, and I look forward to seeing all your name suggestions. Like I say, I've seen the ones you've said so far, but as we move forward, because these are pre-recorded, episode 18 and 19, by a week or so whilst I go away on holiday, I will be revealing all the names in episode 20, the final episode before we move on to a new park, a vintage style park with some retro classic attractions. And like I say, it's not going to be huge, that one. In terms of the space it's going to take up, I imagine it's going to be the smallest park I've done yet, but it's going to be quite cramped in terms of, you look at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I love how it is, don't get me wrong, because that's what makes it. And that park, it's how parks develop over time, isn't it? You go to a new park like Energylandia in Poland, for example, that's only been open 4 years, and everything's just all brand new, isn't it? There's no sort of heritage to it, but you don't expect that. Whereas when you go to Blackpool Pleasure Beach or Dreamland Margate, for example, some of the stuff's been there for a long time and they've worked around it, and I really like that. As you've seen just there, I've took out that old security area, just so that's all done and dusted, and we're going to be putting in a new building just there on the footpath. As you can see, the queue line for the monorail just making its way down there as well. And that is going to form the plot of land just to the left of where the monorail is there. That'll form the plot of land for my final ride that I'm going to be building. A lot of suggestions came in. I did say it was going to be a water ride of some form. I'm still sticking to that, and I've decided that I am 100% going to build the water coaster. I know I was umming and ahhing, but as I mentioned in the last episode, definitely a water coaster, because I built a rapids and a log flume before in Volcano Springs, so I think it's right that I go for something different, a water coaster. Back when I started Volcano Springs and throughout that series, you couldn't even get the water coasters, so it's just how the game's moved on as well, isn't it? And it's another big family coaster to go along with that booster bike that I built before. So, and two good manufacturers, obviously Vekoma there, who are really making leaps and bounds. They're coming out with some amazing stuff for Vekoma, and in the last episode I spoke a bit about IAPA, and if you go back a couple of episodes of TPW Weekly, you'll see I did a whole episode talking all about IAPA and all the main parts from that, and so make sure you check it out. It was the episode that was uploaded on Wednesday the 21st of November 2018, so head back to that and to see all about IAPA, which is basically a huge trade show. And what's put on, well, they have a few. They have like the Euro Attractions Show, the Asia Attractions Expo, but yeah, the main one, the biggest one, which is held in Orlando, Florida every year, and has been in a few other places before. But yeah, that trade show, they talk all about the new tech coming to theme parks and different manufacturers go, and it really is great. So certainly worth checking out that for a bit of an overview of what's to come over the next few years in the industry. Just putting in some signage there. That's that new security hut that I've just been working on there. And this is the fake monorail station here, as you can see, just for the fake car parks, if you like. I've took the actual station out itself and just building a station building around that now. Obviously, the train won't stop in there. I could add a little track trigger, actually, what could make the monorail stop. I might do that, actually. But yeah, I haven't done that yet. But the plan is, of course, for the monorail to pass through there and pretend, so to speak, that it's picked up passengers, you know, from the car park and transporting them to the entrance plaza. And with how the path's designed down at the entrance, it does look like guests have just sort of come off the monorail, going into the baggage search and coming in, whereas actually they're already in the park, but it's just how I've made it look with the building around. Already we're starting to come to the end of this episode, aren't we? Crazy, isn't it? There's still a few minutes to go. But yeah, I'm really enjoying doing Planet Coaster this winter. It's been great to commit so much more time to it because obviously going back now a month or so ago, episodes, you know, I went over a month without an episode, which is a long time. I had that much stuff going on over Halloween and other things that I sort of, Planet Coaster just didn't get played, unfortunately, you know, and I missed it so much. So it's great to be back in the game with this one. As you can see, details going on there to the monorail station. It's a huge building, that, actually, isn't it? You've got to think there it houses all the queue line inside there, so to speak, all the interior queue line for the ride. Around here now, working on the monorail station down close to the entrance, which, as I say, is an actual monorail station, this one. This is where guests will actually load on to the trains. Got all the archways there. You'll get a really nice view out into the park, and this new ride, the water coaster, which is going to be going in. And I'm leaning towards some sort of Indiana Jones theme because I just think I don't want too much Mediterranean. There's a lot of Mediterranean buildings now. I think it's just enough. Let's go for like an Indiana Jones theme here, and I think it'll work really well. But you can see there just lining up the building and putting on the roof pieces there as well. With the monorail, doing a bit of new scenery around it and little details on there, just to fit it in with the rest of the area, really. And you can see that happening just there, all the wooden planks and stuff. Gone for a bit of a different style here, with it being a modern station at the entrance to the park. But yeah, it's just putting it all together, really, isn't it? And making sure that it all looks nice and follows on with that same quality. But yeah, this is more of a modern feel with the archways and stuff. Still fitting with Mediterranean, but just a little bit different with what we've done with the other buildings. But yes, anyway, as you can see, coming to the end of this episode, I very much hope that you've enjoyed watching another episode of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. There is still 2 episodes to go from this park. Of course, number 19, where I'll build the final ride, which is going to be the Indiana Jones themed water coaster. And then we'll go in with episode 20, which is going to be opening the park again, getting people inside, and also decorating for Christmas as well, before we leave Ocean Bay Studios behind, let it continue operating to guests, and move on to the next part, which I'm going to be building a vintage park, which is going to be very different to what I've ever done before. Make sure you stay tuned to our social media. You can also follow us on Instagram at Theme Park Worldwide, and my personal Instagram at Sean Sambrook. Give us a follow on there. It is open for anyone to give me a follow, and I would really appreciate it. Also, like us over on Facebook, Theme Park Worldwide, and follow us on Twitter at Theme Park WW, along with checking out our weekly news series, TPW Weekly, every Wednesday here on the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next episode.